This is First Coast Math Clinic with Lesson 8, Adding and Subtracting Fractions with Visual Models for my Foundational Skills videos. The goal in this video is to use visual models to add and subtract fractions. So we're going to be using visual models like circles and bars to show you what exactly is happening when we add and subtract fractions and find common denominators. So if you're having difficulty understanding the process and what's exactly happening when we add and subtract fractions, that's what we're going to work on in this video. So let's look at this example first. Let's say we've got 2/5 plus 1/5. And we're going to represent these fractions with circles. So we've got two circles here, and our larger part for each of these fractions is 5 and 5, right? So we've got 5 total pieces. So let's represent that in our circle. So we've got 2/5 here, and we've got 1/5 here. So let's shade in those corresponding pieces. So I've got 2 pieces out of 5, and I've got just 1 piece here out of 5. Well, I can compare these circles easily because I have the same number of total pieces, right? I've got 5 pieces and then 5 pieces here for each of these circles. I've got 2 pieces in this first circle, 1 additional piece in the second circle. So if I add those up, I've got 3 total pieces, but the total number of pieces hasn't changed, right? I still have 5 pieces and 5 pieces. So I've got 3 pieces out of 5 and 3 pieces out of 5 for my solution. So that's what's happening basically when we're adding up our fractions. We have the same number of total pieces, 5 and 5. We can compare these two circles, right? And we've got 2 pieces in the first circle, 1 piece in the second, and then 2 plus 1 gives us 3. So we got 3/5 as our answer. So let's look at a couple examples where we don't have the same denominator and use some visual models to illustrate what exactly is happening when we have to find our common denominator. Let's look at the example 3/4 plus 1/3, right? So we've got a total of 4 pieces and 3 pieces. So let's represent that on our circle. So we've got 1, 2, 3 pieces here. So this is going to be our 1/3. And then 4 pieces here. So this is going to be our 3/4. So let's shade in the pieces that we have. So here we've got 1 piece out of 3. And then here we've got 3 pieces out of 4. But we can't add these because our pieces are of different sizes and we've got different numbers of pieces. So we can't really compare our 3 pieces to our 4 pieces, right? So what we need to do is find our common denominator or our least common multiple, our LCM, so we can compare the equal amount of pieces and basically split up our circle into equal pieces, equal size pieces, so we can easily compare and easily add these corresponding circles, corresponding parts. So let's do that. Let's find our least common multiple for 3 and 4. So let's set up our table. And I've got another video on finding the least common multiple. So there's a link for that. It's going to appear right now. So our least common multiples, our multiples for 3 are going to be 3, 6, 9, and 12. Our multiples for 4 are going to be 4, 8, 12, and 16. So for our fraction 1/3, well, what do we multiply that 3 by? Well, we notice our LCM is going to be 12 and 12. That's what they have in common. So that 3, to get 12, what are we multiplying it by? We're multiplying it by 4. So it becomes 4 and 4. And we get 4/12. So what is that going to look like in this circle? It looks something like this, right? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces inside each one of these original pieces. And then we've broken up our larger circle into 12 total pieces. And then for our 4, what are we multiplying 4 by to get 12? We're multiplying 4 times 3. So over here, multiplied by 3 and 3, and we get 9 twelfths. So what is that going to look like? Should look something like this, right? So in this circle, right, now we've got, again, 12 total pieces, but in our highlighted section, right, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But we have 12 total pieces and 12 total pieces. So now we can easily compare because we have the same total number of pieces, 12 pieces and 12 pieces in each circle, right? So we've got 4 pieces here, 9 pieces here. We add those up and we've got 13 total pieces. So this fraction is going to be 13 out of 12. And if we kind of do the math over here, we're going to multiply times 3 over 3 and get 9 twelfths. We're going to multiply by 4 over 4 and get 4 twelfths. Add them up and we get 13 twelfths. Let me erase this so we have a little bit of room. And this is 1 and 1/12 as a mixed number. All right, let's do another example with circles as visual models. So now we're doing 1/2 minus 1/3. So now our total pieces are 2 and 3. So here we've got 2 pieces, right? So this is going to be 1 over 2. So we've got 2 total pieces. There are 2 total pieces. We have one of them, right? So that's what this is going to look like. So then this is going to be my 1/3. And there are 3 pieces here. We have one of them. But again, we can't really compare these two because we have our circles are broken up into different pieces. There are different sizes. So we need to figure out, we need to break up our circles into equal corresponding size pieces, so we can easily compare these two circles. So let's find our LCM to do that. So if we've got 2 and 3, or least common multiple, 1, 2, 3. So our multiples for 2 are going to be 2, 4, 6. Multiples for 3 are going to be 3, 6, and 9. Okay. So we notice our multiple, the value they have in common, is the 6 and 6. So what are we multiplying 2 by to get 6? We're multiplying it by 3. So we get 3 over 6. So each one of these pieces, this left side and the right side, are going to be broken up into 3 pieces, and we're going to get 6 total pieces in the circle. So it should look something like this, right? So here's 1, 2, 3 pieces, and we've got 4, 5, 6 total pieces in the circle. So this is how we want to break up this circle. And then here, what are we multiplying 3 by to get 6? We're multiplying it by 2. Times 2 over 2, and we get 2/6. So each one of these pieces is being broken up into 2 smaller pieces, and we're going to get 6 total pieces in our circle, which should look something like this, right? So this is 1, 2, but then we've got 3, 4, 5, 6. So we've got 6 total pieces, 6 total pieces, but there are 3 that I have here, 2 that I have here. So I can easily compare this now because I've got pieces of the same size and the same amount, right? 6 pieces and 6 pieces. So now I can subtract this. 3 minus 2 is 1 out of 6 total pieces. And if we do the math that we're used to over here, right, just to follow up with that. So to find our common denominator, right, it's 3 times 3 over 3 gives us 3/6. 2 over 2 gives us 2/6. Subtract, and we get 1/6 as our answer. Let's do one more example, but use some horizontal bars as visual models instead of circles. All right, so for this example, we've got 2/3 minus 1/5. All right, so now we're going to use some horizontal bars instead of circles. So we've got three pieces, three total pieces for the first fraction and five total pieces for the second fraction. So let's look at what that looks like in terms of our horizontal bar, right? So here we've got 1, 2, 3 pieces. So this is going to be our 2/3. All right, so we want two pieces out of those three. So we have 2, our numerator, out of those three. So this is going to be the 1/5. So we've broken up this into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We want one piece out of those 5. But again, it's really difficult to compare these pieces or these horizontal bars, because they're of different sizes, different pieces. So it's different number pieces. So it's really difficult to compare. So we need to break up these bars into corresponding equal bars and sizes. So let's figure out how we're going to do that. So what we need to do is find our LCM, or least common multiple, for 3 and 5. So if I do that over here, our multiples for 3 are going to be 3, 6, 9, 20. Let's try that again. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. And then 5 is going to be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So our LCM, the smallest number they have in common, is going to be that 5 and 5. Okay, so let's start with the 3. What are we multiplying 3 by to get 15? We're multiplying it by 5. So times 5 and 5. And we get, actually, let me erase this and move it over just a little bit. So 2/3 times 5 over 5, and we get 10/15. So what we're going to do is break up this total bar into 15 pieces. Each one of these 3 pieces is going to have 5 bars inside of them. So it should look something like this, right? So this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I've got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's my 10. Let me clean that up a little bit. So I've got 10 bars here out of 15. Okay. And then for my 1/5, well, what are we multiplying 5 by to get 15? We're multiplying it by 3. So times 3 over 3, and we get 3/15. So we're going to break up each one of these bars here into 3 pieces, and again get 15 total. So it's going to look something like this. So what I hope you guys are noticing is that we're now breaking up this larger bar into the equal number of corresponding size bars, right? So this bar is the same size as this bar, and we have the same number of them. We've got 15 and 15 bars that are the same size. So now we can compare. All right, it's difficult to compare a bar that is this size and a bar that is this size, but when we break our bars up into the same size and get the same number of them, we can easily compare. All right, so now let me go back and do my highlighting. So we had 1 out of 5, so that's 3/15. So we had 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we got 3 bars highlighted here out of, again, a total of 15. So if we're subtracting these two, right, we have 10, we're taking away 3, we should get 7 out of a total of 15. All right, so now we can easily compare and figure out, well, I've got 10 total bars here. I'm taking away these 3. How many do I have left? I've got 7 left over. And what is my total? My total is still that 15. All right, and just doing kind of the old-fashioned way, multiplying and finding our common denominator, so times 5 over 5, we get 10/15 times 3 over 3, we get 3/15. Subtract, we get 7/15, so that's our answer. Okay. All right, so this was lesson 8, adding and subtracting fractions using visual models. So I hope just showing you guys the visual models just helped explain a little bit better what's exactly happening when we add and subtract fractions, especially when we find our common denominators. So I hope that helped a little bit. If you like this video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. First Coast Math Clinic.